Evelyn had always believed love was supposed to be loud, full of grand gestures, cinematic confessions, and hearts racing under the rain. But when she met Noah, love whispered. It didn't rush. It unfolded slowly, like morning light slipping through curtains, warming everything it touched. They met in college at a small art exhibition where she was sketching alone by the corner. He noticed her before she noticed him, her focus, the way her pencil danced on paper, the tiny crease on her forehead as she captured every detail. You draw emotions better than faces, he had said quietly, standing behind her. She turned, half startled, half curious. And you observe strangers better than most, she replied with a playful smile. That was how it began, not with a spark, but with a steady warmth. They became inseparable. They studied together, walked together, spent hours under trees talking about everything and nothing. Noah was quiet but deep, the kind of person who spoke less and listened more. Evelyn, on the other hand, was expressive, emotional, and full of life. He grounded her. She lit him up. But love, even when it feels perfect, is rarely simple. After graduation, Evelyn got an opportunity to study art in Paris. It was her dream. Noah, meanwhile, was offered a job in New York. The timing was cruel. The night before she left, they sat on the rooftop of their university building, where they'd shared countless memories. The city glowed beneath them like a painting. Maybe it's better if we don't promise too much, Noah said quietly. I don't want to hold you back from anything. Her eyes softened. You're not holding me back. You're part of why I even have the courage to go. They didn't say goodbye, not really. Instead, they promised to write letters, not emails, not texts, Noah insisted. Letters, the kind people wait for, Evelyn agreed, smiling through the ache in her chest. The first few months were easy. Letters came and went like seasons. Evelyn wrote about Paris, the way the Seine looked at sunset, how the streets smelled like coffee and rain. Noah wrote about his small apartment in New York, the sound of subway trains, and how much he missed her laughter. Their letters were their bridge. They poured everything into them, dreams, worries, confessions. But as time went on, life got busier. Deadlines, exhibitions, meetings. Some letters got delayed. Others never came. One winter, Evelyn wrote him a long, honest letter confessing how lonely she felt, how she feared their connection was fading. She poured her heart into every line. But the letter was never mailed. She kept it in a box labeled for Noah someday. Little did she know, Noah too had written one he never sent, about how he was offered a chance to move abroad, how he didn't want to leave without knowing if she still wanted him. But fear held him back. So both letters stayed unsent, to hearts beating across oceans, silently waiting. 5 years passed. Evelyn became a well-known artist. Her paintings were full of emotion. Every canvas seemed to hide a story only she could tell. But behind her success, there was always a quiet space in her heart that whispered Noah's name. Noah had moved back to their hometown. He worked as an architect now, building homes and creating things that lasted, maybe because something in his own life hadn't. He never married. Whenever people asked why, he'd just smile and say, I'm waiting to feel something real again. One day, Evelyn returned to town for an exhibition. She didn't plan to see him, but fate rarely asks permission. The gallery hosting her work was designed by none other than Noah. When she arrived, he was already there, standing quietly by one of her paintings, unaware she had entered. The painting showed two figures on opposite sides of a river, reaching for each other but never touching. Beneath it was the title, The Distance Between Letters. Noah turned when he heard her voice. You designed this place, she said softly. He nodded, almost shyly. And you filled it with memories. For a moment they just looked at each other. 5 years of silence. 5 years of words unsaid, all crashing into a single heartbeat. They walked out of the gallery and into the quiet evening. The air was thick with nostalgia. Do you still write? Noah asked. Not as much, Evelyn admitted. I think I stopped when I didn't know who to write to anymore. He looked at her for a long moment. I never stopped thinking about you, you know. She smiled faintly. Then why didn't you say something? He sighed. Because I thought maybe you moved on, you had the life you dreamed of. I didn't want to be the past that held you back. Her voice trembled. You were never my past, Noah. You were the part that stayed alive in everything I painted. The silence between them was no longer painful, it was understanding. The next morning, Evelyn visited the small apartment she used to live in before leaving for Paris. It had been turned into a tiny art storage space. As she opened an old drawer, she found the box, the one labeled for Noah, someday. Inside were all the letters she had written and never sent. Dozens of them, each one full of love, doubt, and longing. She picked up the first one and smiled sadly. Then she made a decision. That evening, she met Noah again, this time at the rooftop where it all began. She carried the box in her hands. "These are yours," she said, handing it to him. He opened it slowly, eyes widening. "You kept them. I couldn't throw them away," she whispered. "They were my way of keeping you with me." He smiled gently. "I have something to..." From his bag, he pulled out a bundle of old, unopened letters addressed to her. "I wrote to you too, I just never sent them." For a while neither spoke. They just looked at the letters to lives that had always been parallel, never intersecting until now. Evelyn broke the silence. "Maybe the timing was wrong back then. Maybe," Noah said. "But maybe now it's right." She smiled, tears shining in her eyes. "Then let's stop writing letters and start writing memories." Again, he reached for her hand, the same hand he once held years ago under the same stars. This time, he didn't let go. Months later, Evelyn and Noah were seen together often at cafes, art shows, late-night walks by the river. They didn't talk about the years they lost. They focused on the days ahead. One night she asked, "Do you ever wonder what would have happened if we'd sent those letters?" He smiled. "Maybe we needed to wait. Maybe those letters were meant to bring us here when we were finally ready to understand them." And in that quiet moment, surrounded by the hum of the city, Evelyn realized something profound. Love doesn't always arrive when you expect it. Sometimes it travels through time, across silence, through fear and distance, only to find its way back home. If this story touched your heart and reminded you that true love always finds its way back, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more heartfelt stories. This is HeartTalk Stories, where every story speaks to your soul.